Okay, here I go, walking and talking. Today, as I often refer to us all as walking, talking books, as we all have a life story that we are um, unfolding or uncovering daily, every day that we get a chance, right? But one thing that I am on this process of discovery that I am learning, or has come to my attention or my awareness, and I use these terminologies purposely, um, is that majority of us were, if I can put it this way, dealt a really shitty hand, right? No, we heard that saying before. Dealt a really shitty hand, or have gotten a really bad deal, or have gotten the short end of the stick, or get a really bad rap, right? Um, and that is just me looking at my own story, um, you know, how I come across other people and their stories, um, and really looking at that, individually, and how it penetrates us systemically, right? That a lot of minorities across the globe and humanity, we have been dealt a shitty hand, right? But we are the ones that are usually made to feel like our hands are dirty, not the one that's actually dealing out the shitty hand, right? I'm really looking at how people are judged, how I am judged for how we are handling things, whatever things are, right? And things are usually our circumstances, the circumstances that make up our current realities, our lives, how we are living. And oftentimes, especially when it comes to a systemic level, we're not in that much control of how we are living. Um, you know, we are, but we aren't. But, even when it comes down to an individual and their own human experience and how much control we have over our experience and how we are handling things, how we are living. That is, the part that we actually do have in our hands, or can have in our hands. But one of the things that you have to do, or that I've had to do in this process of self-discovery, and this part is the part that was not easy, is when you really sit and take a look at your deal. You're like, what's my deal? You look at the hand you were dealt, however it is, however it started, however it played out, because that's the only way that you can do anything about it, whether it be clean your hands, what are you going to do with the hand you were dealt, you can't really do anything about that until you look at it in its entirety. And that's the part that has been challenging for me. I find, that it's probably challenging for most to really look at your deal. I find a lot of us are, we try the best coping mechanisms to handle the things that we have to deal with, and some of the shit we have to deal with, and, it's crazy. Some of the shit we have to, be subject to, right? That's the thing that we don't really want to say out loud, or terminologies that are rarely used, but it's a lot of things throughout a day, throughout the course of a day. Sometimes the course of the day is coarse, and that will make you coarse. But it's a lot of things that, we are subject to throughout the course of a day and throughout the course of a life. And oftentimes, depending on how your story started or where it started from, it can continue a very coarse life of strife unless something comes into play that helps you along the way to change your course, change your story, do something with your deal. That's the part. That's the tough part, or it's finding to be the tough part, the transitional part, at least for me, Looking at my own deal's not been easy, because looking at my own deal included looking at myself, and the choices that I've made and the impact that those choices have made in the lives of other people. But first starting with the self, right? And then those other people being my children, my closest family members, things of that sort. Even if they're not doing the same, because we all should be doing it. That's how we make, more effective change, because it's not just about one person. No one person can take the blame for any of it. No one person owns all the shitty shit in the world, right? But that, some of these things I just be needing to say out loud and hoping that somebody else can resonate with it, because oftentimes, I'll have these conversations with my closest loved ones, and we really not on the same page about these things yet. And I'm coming to understand that too, and try not to get so aggravated about, not being on the same page, and understand what in turn does make people be on two different pages, and the possibilities about catching up to speed, like meeting in the middle. That's the riddle, right? Because we all experiencing this in some type of way, right? But yeah, that's the talking, walking book blurp for the day so far.